details in nonfiction texts. Again, nonfiction texts are those that are going to have information, lots of facts, and they're going to be trying to tell us something about the world. Sometimes it might be a news article, which is what we're going to have below, where something's happened and people are reporting about it. In other cases, it's just going to be simply about the topic, and you're going to need to be determining what information is most important. As we look at key details, we really want to be thinking about this as a key detail is something that is important to understanding the story, okay, or article. Important to understanding this article. So when we think about these pieces here, a couple of the really big pieces that are going to be really, really helpful for you are when we ask these questions, right? And these question words are ones that are going to help us determine whether it's something I really need to know or whether it's just something that's interesting. Sometimes the interesting things double over as key details, but we really want to get away from just finding fun facts and things that we just really need to know. Okay. In this case, I'm going to kind of highlight the ones that, or highlight the question words in here. Who or what is involved? So sometimes it's not just a who, it's not a person. Sometimes it's an animal. Sometimes it's something like a bus or something, an oil spill, right? That's a what. So we got to know who or what is involved. We got to know what did they do. So we want to think about this piece here as an action. What action happened? Okay, or maybe it's actions. Might be more than one action or action. Okay. Um, as I continue on, how did they do it? The how matters, and in this case, that's what's going to give us a little bit more depth. If we say, oh, there was an oil spill that happened, how did that happen? Okay, or how did somebody clean it up? Those types of things. What are the things that we could find out there? These two I'm gonna add together. I'm gonna put them in yellow. When did it happen and where did it happen? Sometimes you're gonna have that, sometimes you're not. Those aren't probably the most important ones on the whole thing, but they do give us a little bit of a time aspect. Timing does matter because if it's something that happened 10 years ago versus 10 minutes ago, it's something that maybe is less relevant, or maybe it is more relevant than it is today. Who knows, depending on that. So you're gonna have to kind of determine that. And the last piece here is this idea of why. Why does it matter, or why did they do it? And give us that a little bit more information that we want to make sure that we get answered in there. So down here, I picked an article. Again, the first thing I want to do whenever I encounter a nonfiction text is I want to kind of scan the article or skim it. I'm going to look at the title, I'm going to look at the pictures, and I'm going to look at any headings. I'm going to start to think also about some questions I have or some information that I already know. In this case, it's athletes find creative ways to train from home during the coronavirus. I know that here I can see that this is somebody who looks like they're doing some sort of boxing or karate or something like that because they're getting really high. And certainly looks like they're not using something that would be in a gym. So this person must be at home if she's working out. And I kind of gather some of that from the title. The flower pot training partner. Oh, I wonder if that's what this is here. This is a flower pot training partner. So instead of having a partner, she's got a flower pot acting as another human. And then as I go down, a long swim to nowhere. Must be somebody who's learning how to swim and where she's swimming, that sort of thing. So I'm kind of wondering also, like, is she swimming in a pool? Is she going to be swimming in a lake? What does that mean when they're talking about a long swim to nowhere? But I do know it's probably going to be about swimming. And then training is more unusual ways. Huh, that's interesting because there's a person on a bike and they're inside. But I've seen people bike inside, so I'm kind of curious what that means by the unusual part. And then lastly, staying healthy is important down here. So as we go, as I come through here, what I want to do here is I want to move these. I'm going to take these from the top here. I'm going to move them down towards the bottom. And what I have done already is done a little bit of work here. So when I mark my who or what piece, I'm going to just kind of check them off as I go. So here I know it's different athletes, Olympic athletes. That's my who. And Olympic athletes are training at home. Okay, it does tackle the who part. There's a little bit of the what, but I'm probably going to need a little bit more information in here to tell me more about it. So as I kind of come down here, It looks like in this case, this person here, they're staying at home. Her training setup, she uses a training partner that involves a lamp stand inside the pot or the flower pot. And this here, she is somebody who, again, is a karate world champion. I'm going to put down here as another detail that the karate world champion is using a flower pot as a training partner. I might even add another one from down below as they keep coming down. It looks like this person, Sharon von Ruwendel, is an Olympic gold medalist swimmer. So she works in her inflatable kiddie pool in her backyard. It looked like she was first using a lake, but it says that it upset the police. So here, I might even put on here, Olympic swimmer is training using her daughter's, thought it said daughter's kiddie pool. Okay. And up here, so I've gotten the who, I've got a little bit of the what's happening. How did they do it? Kind of included in here. So as I come down here, it says that they still need to train. Got some other things down here, some other things that they've done, a couple others that I might want to include. As I get to the bottom, it says this person says everyone is facing the same obstacle during these days at home. It can be hard to stay motivated. It's very important to stay in good health, and we cannot stay in good health if we stay on the sofa. So I might even come up here to what they did. The they are training to stay in good shape during the coronavirus. Okay. When did this happen? Oh, this is happening right now. So it says it began in December of 2019. It doesn't say necessarily when it happened, but I could include when the coronavirus started. So coronavirus started in December of 2019 and canceled almost all sporting events. I'm getting that from here. It began here and spread across the globe. Events can't everywhere have been canceled. I've got that piece in here. So I've got a little bit of that. Where did they happen? Well, I've got this part here because it's got it at home. So I've included that. When did it happen? I've got a little bit of the how, and then I got this part with why already, which is this part here where they're trying to stay in good shape. I could look through here and see if there's anything else that they're saying about about the people in here. I might include the part about the figure skater or the wrestler. Not necessarily sure I need to. Those would be other additional examples that fit back with my original part, which is about the athletes who are training at home. So what you're going to work on today is you're going to make sure that as you are reading, that you're going through, you're trying to find who or what was involved, what did they do, how did they do it? When did they do it and where? Where did they do it? Those two kind of again get combined together. They're maybe a little bit less important. And then why did they do it? What makes them want to do it? So as you're reading, keep going with that. Make sure to preview before you do and read, and then try to look for those key details in your text.